he slipped over, she slips over, and then the
They're
dog
both
came crashing on top of them. Yeah,
happy families.
yeah.
Do you know, recently I've been, I wouldn't say binge watching, but
Mm,
I'd say reminiscing, if you like,
mm,
of some old British comedies.
yeah.
And the latest one I've been rewatching is a program called Get Some In,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was which was based on a Royal Air Force barracks
Mm,
in the 1950s, 55, I think it was that they had at the beginning, with Corporal Marsh
yeah,
and 2F Smith. Smith,
yeah.
I think it's Smith.
Yeah.
Um, and how the corporal mistreats the recruits. That all
Yeah.
the recruits are green. They've just come in,
Mm,
um, and so this sort of what I was reading the other day sort of fits in with with the comedy, if you like,
mm,
but on a more serious note.
yeah.
So recently, an army who's a corporal, a training instructor from the Coldstream Guards, he's being investigated for treating a recruit harshly.
Okay.
In the parade yard,
Mm,
in front of his workmates, in front of the other soldiers. He made the recruit roll over in a puddle and do press ups whilst shouting at him.
mm,
The top brass removed him from his instructor role, and he's awaiting result of the investigation.
mm.
This happened at Catterick. I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to, used to live
Yeah.
in Catterick
Mm,
when I was a kid. Uh, the Army Infantry Training Centre in North Yorkshire. So what have we to make of this corporal screaming at the recruit to do push-ups when it's wet? Was he being harsh? Of course, he singled this guy out because
mm.
of something, but the
Yeah.
the the article didn't explain exactly
Yeah.
what it
That's
was,
what I know. Yeah.
right? But I, looking back on to Get Some In, the program Get Some In,
Mm,
Marsh would punish the guys.
mm,
They'd bull up the boots, and
yeah.
he'd dirty the boots for them and said, "Bull
Yeah.
them up again," you know.
Yeah.
And so, I suspect that this corporal was making this guy roll around in the puddle, which it's not a lake, it's a puddle,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
so that he's going to have to wash his fatigues
Mm,
again.
mm,
But anyway, he was being really, really rude to the recruit when
mm.
he, you know, uh, I, I read this article in the Daily Mail, so it's important to know that the Daily Mail had to mention that this recruit was black, right?
Oh, yeah.
But was also trying to play the race card by saying if there was a racial motive behind the situation is unclear, which means, that is just trying to
Mm,
uh, bring something up that wasn't there
yeah.
because the corporal never said anything. You didn't use racial slurs. It was what you and I would call each other on a Friday night, which many of us would say as a joke,
Yeah.
or at least I hope we do.
Yes. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yes. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. I
anyway,
know. Yes.
so these expletives that he used, they could have been used on anybody. They're not
Yeah.
destined for
Oh,
for
well.
any
Yeah.
particular person. Now, I've you know a corporal would make a recruit do uh, push-ups and things like that because he knew
Mm,
that the recruit could do it.
yes.
even if the recruit was complained he was tired,
Mm.
there's going to be somebody there making him do one extra push-up because he knew that he could do it.
Yes, exactly.
It's just that he needs to be able to be, you know, the corporal said to the recruit,
Mm.
what are you looking at me like that for?
Mm.
Don't give me that don't give me that um behavior,
Yeah,
like it's
there's
like
some
the
behind it.
recruit was almost like squaring up to him,
Yeah,
you know. And the recruits need to understand, that they're there to follow orders and it's done,
that's good.
you
Yeah,
know. Okay, so I think being soft on recruits and not being able to, is a mistake.
mm.
Is a mistake. Uh, and I'll give you an example. On the battlefield,
Mm.
on a battlefield, a live battlefield,
Yeah,
the enemy is not going to be polite with you.
exactly. I was about to lead
Uh,
into this. Yeah.
In August of 2021, Lance Corporal Ryan Mackenzie was found hanging in his barracks
Mm. Mm.
after returning from Afghanistan, where he witnessed his best friend,
Mm.
Scott McLaren, being tortured and killed by the Taliban.
Mm.
Not very friendly, not very
Mm.
polite.
Yes.
This happened in 2012.
Mm.
Right, he hung himself in 2021. So since 2012, he's had this on his mind, waking up
Yeah.
with nightmares. He also witnessed children being killed because they were wearing suicide vests.
Mm.
And you couldn't,
You can't think.
if you're a British soldier, you had to kill the children
Mm.
before they reached you. And
Well,
these are kids, like 10, 11 years old.
I know. Could we
You
do
had
it?
to blow,
Yeah.
you had to blow the heads off.
Well, yeah.
There's no ifs and buts.
Mm.
And also seeing other friends getting shot and mutilated
Mm.
because, that's the sort of enemy that they had on the battlefield.
Mm.
We class that as the horrors of war.
Well, yeah.
The horrors of war. I remember everything that you learn to do in the. I mean, I've never been a soldier. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I've
but
not.
you come from soul. Yeah, you know
My
about it
par
or
my,
not.
my
Yeah.
parents are were
Yeah.
soldiers, but I haven't. I'm not.
Mm.
But I learned through documentaries and things like that that everything that you do
Mm.
has a reason behind it.
Yes.
And I remember watching a documentary about the Green Berets,
Mm.
about the recruits going in to be wanting to become a Green Beret.
I remember that one. Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
Right. And one of the first things they had to do was to clean the knife, fork, and spoon,
Mm.
and they had to put it on the bed,
Yeah.
which was also duly made
Yes.
to specifications,
Mm.
and they had to have a distance equal between the knife, fork, and spoon of a certain distance. And you could argue, why not just wash them and throw them in the cutlery drawer?
Mm.
But the thing is that these Green Berets are going to be given rifles,
Yeah.
and they're going to have to look after the rifles.
Mm.
And if they can't even look after a knife, fork, and spoon,
Yeah.
how on earth are they going to look after a rifle?
Yeah.
You know, they need their rifle to go off every time they pull the trigger,
Yeah.
and they need to point the rifle in the right place.
Mm.
Otherwise, they end up uh, killing them, killing the
Well, having a
brothers.
mishap, having an incident. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so, just being sheltered, if
Mm.
if a person is sheltered, all this DEI recruitment and all this
Yeah.
on the front line, DEI doesn't come into it. And if you're
No.
not up to scratch, not only do you put yourself at risk,
Mm.
you put the guy who's at the side of you, who's on the same mission, you put his life at risk, and in
Mm.
fact, the whole team, the whole team that's with you, you put their life at risk as well. And
Mm.
so I really don't, me personally, I really don't think that calling somebody a C word is all that is all that grave, you know. When you look at the big picture,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think that this army corporal he was unlucky because somebody in a window
Mm.
was recording what he was doing,
Mm.
and they were laughing about it,
Yeah.
and they were laughing about it. But there you are.
Well,
Over to you, one.
well, as I've alluded to a couple of times here, when I was in my early 20s, I found myself, well, I didn't find, I got myself, didn't find myself, didn't suddenly wake up. I was out of a job. I heard a recruitment advert on the radio. Yeah, join the British Army, be the best sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, join the
Um,
professionals, the
they
professionals.
were taking, they were a bit short of staff, so they were taking people up to 25 years old. I was 24. Um, and I was basically, I found myself there. I was a little bit out of condition, must admit, you know, a bit out of work, probably doing a little bit of exercise, but more mainly the right arm with a beer sort of exercise. Oh, woe is I. Um, Actually, it did knock me out. It actually got me, yeah, because I had the start date. Yeah, and it got me physically. Yeah, I started to go training again because I thought I'm not going to go in because I had a start date. I'm not going to go in, and I'm not going to fail. I wanted to know if I'd ever fail. Yeah, okay. I wasn't going to fail because of being unfit of all things. Yeah, that's a fundamental to me. You go in the army, you've got to be fit. Whatever else you are or not, you've got to be fit. Um, and it was said to me, the recruitment sergeant said to me, he said, if we say jump and you jump, or you ask how high, is actually what he said. He said, if we say jump, you ask how high, you'll be all right, boy. Yeah. Um, you don't, and then somebody said to me, why would you even ask how high? You jump. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. It's discipline. You get yourself disciplined. The way that you dress, your boots are clean. What does it matter if your boots are clean? That's discipline. You turn out well. Your beret's right, clean. It's this whole thing of discipline, tidiness. Um, yeah, as you said, you clean
Detail,
your detail.
detail.
And yeah, when you saw a recruit and they go around the room, there's white glove treatment, everything is clean. And what they do is collective punishment. It doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. If one person, maybe if they're having trouble with recruit, one person has a dirty knife, they'll punish the whole squad. Yeah, don't let the whole squad basically make the guy do press ups or even worse. Yeah, I mean, it could be the reverse side of it is maybe this guy was good and the corporal wanted him to be better.
Yeah, sure.
And I've had that in my work life where I was good, I was setting back on my morals and I had a boss who got on my case. Um, you know, I'm capable of that. Yeah, oh, I'm doing all right. Go on. And it's like yeah. And then the boss explained it to me afterwards. He said, yeah, I've got you to where I need you to be now again. Yeah. Yeah, just lost a bit of motivation. That's it. I was doing my job, but that's all I was doing my job. Okay, it's a little bit different. When you join the army, you're going in a career. If you don't know what the army is all about before you go in, should you be there in the first place? Should you have even walked through the recruiting sergeant or the recruitment door? Yeah, or gone to the desk at the in the school, you know, at the school job fair. Yeah, maybe you're not the right person to have there. I think the corporal was actually pushing the guy, not out of malice, but possibly he could see he can do better. I'm going to be honest, and yeah, I'm going to bring in two factors in here. And I have known, yeah, people who have been in the army. If you are a person, let's just say, for example, we're racing to war with the Eastern Europeans at the moment. Doesn't matter who. They're not renowned for their ethnicistical, ethnic tolerance. Yeah. If you've got a black soldier there, then they're going to give you help. Well, if you're lucky enough to get to interrogation, let's put it that way.
You're talking prisoner of war.
Yeah, yeah. yeah, I'm being very careful, is what I say. The other thing I do also say, and I've known female soldiers as well who've done all right, you know, in the military. They got, yeah, they got the standard. Yeah, they had two different standards, one for women, one for men. The front line. This thing about women being on the front line, and we're not going to draw any comparisons with any other events of the last week here.
Keep the women in the canteen and in the naffy.
I disagree with that. I think they do have a role to play in technical jobs.
I'm just being.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm making sure that people are certain that we're. Yeah, I'm counteracting you. I'm with the youngsters here. Yeah,
we're wholesome here. We're wholesome.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do. I mean, I do believe that. I'll be quite honest. If I was a squaddy on the front line, I wouldn't want a woman next to. My natural reaction is to protect and look after women, be it my wife, my daughter, or any other female there. I don't. Well, I do care. Obviously, you see that guys have known each other. I read a story where a guy, he was in a chopper helicopter following somebody on. I think it was in Baghdad going towards. It was in the Afghan war, and he saw the guy, and he'd served with this guy for 25 years, and he saw the chopper get shot down. No survivors. He saw that in front of him. His best mate for 25 years, and he said, "I had to carry on with my job." Then I had my nervous breakdown after that. But the military looked after him. Yeah, he was in a senior position as well. He didn't have the luxury of having a breakdown. Yeah, he had to carry on. That is military life. We all know that when sometimes soldiers end up, or ex-military end up in civil life, they do have their breakdown then, because there is no discipline in civil life.
I think it's because they've been given, when they're in civil life, they're given time to think.
Yeah.
Which in the services they never did.
Yeah. 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 And yeah, if you're sloping around, they'll get you to paint the grass almost. That has nothing to do. And it's like I say, cleaning the boots takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We wouldn't spend 10 minutes cleaning our own shoes. They have to have them spick and span. Well, yeah, all the time. Mind, job, work. Mind, job, work. They'll let you party. Don't forget the military let you party, they let you drink. Yeah. It's a big boys' club at that. They encourage sport. Because again, when you're doing sport, you're getting fit, you're a part of a team, and you're not thinking.
Occupied.
Yeah. You're occupied. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the army is the biggest sports club in the UK, in effect. Yeah. Well, it was. I don't know what they do now. But yeah, I mean, you can see I'm enthusiastic. I regret, because I actually got myself another job, withdrawing from starting the basic training. Would I have made it? And sometimes I have hang-ups about that. At least I should have done the basic training to know if I could have made it. But I had to take the job, obviously, logically. Would I have got through basic training? I don't know. The other thing I was told, because I would have been an older recruit, not some 16 or 18-year-old green person, yeah, couldn't wipe their own nose. I'm a bit older. I'd be told that I'd be expected to look after some of the younger guys there at 24. I couldn't even look after myself at 24. Yeah, in effect, you know what I'm saying.
You must have been in a state then.
Well, I didn't actually go in the end, but yeah, no, I wasn't. I mean, yeah, I got to a level in work, a management level in work. I understood. I knew things were right, things were wrong. Didn't always know what I was doing, but did it anyway. It would have been an interesting experience to at least see if I'd have got through the 6 weeks basic training, literally go in, have your hair shaved, up at 6 every morning for a lay-in. Yeah, marched around the field. Yeah, I'd have been told that you've got to keep the 18-year-olds together, stop them going off and doing something crazy. Hang on, I'm not being paid extra for this. No, you're going to be squad leader possibly, or you're going to have an 18-year-old as your squad leader telling you what to do. Yeah. But again, this is all part of army life. And you're saying this corporal probably could see potential in this young lad and was trying to break him. And that's what BT basic training is all about, breaking you. to see if you'll come out of it. Then you go on into the big boy stuff where they do try and break your spirit because they need you. They don't need free thinkers. They need people who will point a rifle at a kid and not think about it. That's the realities. Or point a rifle at anyone. And this is what the guy said to me, the recruitment sergeant. It's all coming back to me. He said, you'll be in your foxhole. He said, you'll be being shot at. The big question you've got to ask yourself is, you might have to point your rifle. And I was going to go in the engineers. I thought, nice cushy number, doing some wiring. No, you're a soldier first. Yeah? You're going to have to hold a rifle. You might have to point it about it and take somebody's life. Can you do that? He said, we will prepare you for it, but you're going to have to be able to do it without question. Yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah. Now, so anyone, wanting to go in the army. So as our politicians saying, hey, get ready for war rights and everything else. These are the realities that you just said, taking lives. And you do that as well. You've got to have the discipline to do it without question.
If you're sensitive and easy to cry, don't go.
Well, I think that's it. Mind you, when conscription starts,